Happy Sunday, everybody. What's up? Welcome to Surviving Rocklahoma. We are live on YouTube. We are now live on YouTube. This is going to be our new home away from home, as we are now broadcasting from the good old tried and true YouTube, where they've got their copyright things are pretty strict, but nothing like what Facebook is now. Ooh, let me fix that video a little bit so you can see all of these luscious locks. There we go. All right. Get that message. All right. So this is all kind of new, a little bit new to me. We're trying out a couple new things. First of all, we had that new intro. Thank you very much to all those with the positive feedback on that. And we're debuting the new equipment, so now you can see crystal clear, and you can see my gorgeous face there. And if it ain't gorgeous yet enough, we're going to take a little bit of medicine for that here in just a little bit. But first, as we do every show, I want to give some shout out to our sponsors. First up is debconcerts.com.
I want to rock!
Yes. And they are still rocking. Head on over to debconcerts.com. You can see all of their upcoming events, including October 23rd, John Karabi, former Pipes, who filled in a little bit for Motley Crue, of course, for Vince, and also guitarist for Rat. And they will be playing with Rocket Science coming up on the 23rd. We'll get into that a little bit later. But be sure you give them a like on Facebook so that you can get all those alerts. And what's up, everybody? I see everybody in the comments. Also, want to give a huge shout out to At Your Service Rentals.
Dinner was full!
But they always clean them. So Rocklahoma's official source of personal restrooms. And beyond Rocklahoma, they also supply Oklahoma, northeastern Oklahoma area with porta potties, shower houses, sanitation stations, especially in the midst of a pandemic. Those sanitation stations are oh so critical, especially if you got a large event or a company event or whatever the case may be. If there's going to be a large crowd of people, give At Your Service Rentals a call. They will take care of your needs. But I digress. Now we need to fix this camera. Ooh, there it is. Okay. As we do every show, let's make me a little bit prettier. Let's crack open a cold one as we do. Here we go. Oh, there we go. How's everybody feeling out there in Facebook land? We've got Eric, Shaggy, Cynthia, Pamela, and of course Lori and my girl Christy, all in the comments. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. How's everything coming on you guys' end? Now, remember, guys, we are here live here on on YouTube, and we will also, this show will also go out to all the podcast networks. That's Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and now Amazon Music, as well as anywhere you get your podcast networks. I was hoping you'd know who it was. Oh, yeah. Nothing says Christy like Purple Rain. We know who it was. But yeah. And so hopefully this is going to be a great partnership. This is hopefully going to be a great platform for me to do the live streams. If not, we still have another backup plan or two. Starting next week, we will also simultaneously be broadcasting to Twitch as well. Was going to try to do it this week, but I just ran out of time. I didn't get everything ready. It's been a busy week as temperatures are cooling off. Had some stuff to do around the house, some personal stuff. And this weekend I was in Tulsa for the awesome killer show at the Shrine. And we're going to get into that in here just a little bit, but that kind of brings us to the local news and Surviving Rocklahoma news. As you know, we've had some developments. First up, we had a killer show at the Shrine, and there was some great bands, and Infall opened it up. And I know I've gone on and on about this band, but Sparrow just has some pipes that are amazing, and just the ensemble. You know, there's a group of really big guys and one small girl with a voice of more powerful than all the voices in there combined. She's just got some amazing pipes, and we're going to play a video from Infall tonight. We're going to be playing their Paramore cover. Hopefully YouTube doesn't crack down on us on copyrights and all of that stuff. Also, after Infall came Groucho. And let me tell you, Groucho, those guys are absolutely amazing. We played a video from them last week on our Facebook finale, which, by the way, thank you everybody for all of your kind words and your support as we do this transition, as we're migrating to this new platform, and everybody who tuned in to the Facebook finale. And everybody loved the amount of music we played last week during the show. And I wish we could do stuff like that more often. And I tell you what, I think we will. We may start doing an occasional surprise show in the middle of the week, and those are going to be exclusive to the podcast networks. We're not going to do it on YouTube. We're not going to do it on Facebook. We are going to do it exclusively on the podcast because I don't have to deal with as much copyright risks as I do playing it here on the show. So I usually play 2 to 3 tracks or videos here on the show, and that kind of flies me under the radar. But to do a jam-packed power hour, we're going to do that on the podcast network. So anywhere that you check out podcasts or get your music, do a search for Surviving Rocklahoma, and you never know. There's going to be some bonus gems pop in every now and then. But going back to this weekend, I absolutely love Groucho. They impressed me so much. And then, of course, after Groucho, we had Sign of Lies, and I'm going to play some Sign of Lies as well. I don't know why that warning keeps popping up. Sorry about that, guys. What's up, Scott? And look at you guys. We look at all those viewers. I appreciate you guys. And so Sign of Lies is absolutely amazing. And that guy, Devin, absolutely has such a presence on the stage, and he just makes love to that audience in just such a special way. And I mean, you can't not get into him, right? So absolutely love Sign of Lies. Also, after Sign of Lies, we had some Fist of Rage, and they just kill it as always. And there's few bands that I've watched, not just local bands, but in all the concerts that I've gone to, where they just make they just have so much fun on stage, between Brax's just killer moves on the stage to Paulette just rocking it as she does. And by the way, I don't understand how you can sit there and play a fretless bass. That's just amazing in itself, as well as the other guys in the ensemble. What's up, Jerry? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Also want to, after Fist of Rage came on, we were also winding it down. Pretty new look, A-Bomb. Thank you, Jerry. We were also blessed with a performance from Harakiri. And let me tell you guys, I was talking with some of the guys from Harakiri, and you know, these luscious locks of mine, this hair that I've been growing out for the last couple of years, it brings me a lot of confidence. But these guys, I was totally jealous of those rockin' locks, guys, because they were just absolutely headbanging the entire time. I don't see how they can sit there and sound so great while slinging their noggin around. So it was an amazing show, and you guys have got to catch them out anytime they're in the area, especially at the Shrine. Absolutely loved the Shrine. Huge shout out to Danny for keeping the music alive and keeping all of this stuff going. Remember, guys, we've got Save Our Stages is an amazing movement, and it's there to fulfill, to defend, to represent the local music communities, especially these small venues, www.saveourstages.com. The mission of the National Independent Venue Association, or NIVA, is to preserve and nurture the ecosystem of independent live music venues and promoters throughout the United States. This is our final push to Congress, and there won't be another opportunity. Please help us hashtag Save Our Stages now. And once again, you can get more information by going to www.saveourstages.com and help get these venues represented in the legislators, both the state, federal, anywhere where they're talking about COVID and Corona stimulus funds. We need to get these local stages supported because everything is running at diminished capacity. Reduced capacity means reduced funds. And it's a business, guys. They still pay rent. They still pay bills. They still pay for staff and everything that goes with that overhead. And a lot of these venues are paying to stay open. So we need to save our stages. Once again, that website's www.saveourstages.com. You can get with your local representatives, regardless of what side you're on, and advocate for those stages. Because once this pandemic opens up, we want to make sure that there's venues left to open so that we can drop mic stuff. Sorry about that. So that we can have a place to go rock out. Also, guys, as you know, we are on YouTube, because Facebook has changed their policy, which took. I tell you what, let's get another beer. There we go. Loosen up that tongue a little bit. Yeah, wow, that one sounded wrong. Anyway, so yeah, we are on YouTube because as of October 1st, Facebook has changed their policies. They are cracking down on music. More specifically, anything on Facebook Live that is designed to create a music listening experience for you and for others. That's the official quote from their new policies. They will shut it down. They will also flag your account. So if you continue to repeatedly break those policies, you risk losing your page. Now, this is very detrimental to bands because these local musicians, guys, they have limited outlets because they depend so much on the local shows, the bars and touring and getting these local gigs, but they also need help getting on the radio. They need help promoting and getting their brand out there so everybody can listen to their music. And for a lot of people, that's what Facebook meant for those local acts, but now they can't do that. So we're going to try to keep supporting local music and featuring local music right here on the show. This is why we moved over to YouTube, because we worked for like 5 years building the web page or the Facebook page, and I don't want to risk losing all that work. It could be argued that Facebook is greedy. It's a very complex issue. Long story short, they have been operating as everything, and they've been very fluid in that they are connecting to everything. They're everywhere and very fluid. So what is going on now that there's congressional pressure on Facebook, there's music industry pressure on Facebook, they're becoming more solid, so they can easily be categorized as a platform rather than a publisher, because a publisher carries a lot of restriction stuff and they answer to not NFC, FCC, whereas a platform is kind of like a limited liability company. So it's kind of complex. I understand it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I understand why things are the way they are. So, but fortunately, YouTube's still there. So if you're a band, if you have an artist, if you want to share music, you still can come to YouTube as long as you have permission to share that stuff, which every video featured on Surviving Rocklahoma has full permission from the artist. I don't play anything without their blessing. And a lot of times they submit the music to me. So that keeps me under the copyright radar. So it's Ed. Okay, what's up, Ed? Yeah, that's the only tough thing about YouTube is it's hard seeing who's who. I see you guys in the comments. I tell you what, let's do this. Let's play some live music, or some live-ish music anyway. This band, they played last night. Absolutely loved them. And Devin was just making every girl in the place swoon. That's just what he does. He gets on stage, man, and he's like the prince of hard rock. So without any further ado, here is their song Fake with a few images from last night.
Roll this to the end.
And that was Sign of Lies with Fake. They put on an amazing performance there last night. And those were photos from that performance last night. And it was amazing seeing everybody there last night. It was a great show. We had a great turnout for all of those amazing bands. Watching the comments, glad to see everybody in there. Guys, if you're watching this video, please just do me a favor, hit that like button. And while you're at it, if you haven't already done so, click that subscribe button and click that little bell next to it so that you get alerts every time I go live or anytime we upload new videos. There will be a new video coming up. I was supposed to bring it to you guys last night, but unfortunately, live got in the way and everybody's busy and just logistical errors. But in the coming weeks, we're going to have the band Groucho here on the show. Also, we've got Halloween coming up, and I've got something extremely spooky and fun coming up, and I'm still lining up the details. We'll do a formal announcement very soon, hopefully by next week or the week after, and we'll share that on Facebook. Remember, you can check us out on Facebook at Surviving Rocklahoma. And if you're here, you're already where the party is here on YouTube. Be sure you click that subscribe button so that you get those alerts anytime there's any new content breaking on the page. We've got some other things that we are working on. So it's an exciting time because the cool thing about change, I hate change, I fear change, but it also makes you get out of your comfort zone and try new things and do some new little cool gadgets and gadgets that you can put into your production. And so I've got some pretty excited things on the horizon, and there'll be more on that as details come available. Now, in the meantime, we're going to do some of our regular national news because Megadeth is in the news. Dave Mustaine says their new album will be the most ferocious since Rust in Peace. Those are his words. Remember, Dave was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2019. He updated everybody on his medical status on the 5 Count radio show about his health. He says, and quote, "I'm a little tired, and I think that comes with the territory. When we shared this record, I was sick and I didn't know it, but I'd been going through a lot of stuff. And then during the course of the making of the record, we did a brief tour where he went out and did the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And that's when we found out I had cancer," he says. He goes on to say, I did my treatment, beat it, got it behind me. There was a couple of other places that they found the cancer and they cut those out as well, but he's fine now. And he goes on, you need to check that out on the 5 Count radio show. I was listening to it. I was going to bring it in, but the clip was just way too long, and it's just a rabbit hole. So Hughes, that's amazing to beat cancer. And as we all know, hashtag cancer sucks. But and it's taken some greats, but fortunately, Dave is just too much of a badass. And so he's going to stay on the planet and cook out some more albums. And he's coming back with a ferocious new treat. And he's expecting that to come out within the next year or two. He told another radio show last week that they are in the process of recording guitar solos for the new album. His last album was in 2016's Dystopia, and they played Rocklahoma in 2016 that year. So you never know. He could be back on the road within the next year or two because, the wheels, like I said, I got a little tip and a little piece, a little breadcrumb of information is that the wheels, the machine over there at AEG is starting to come to life. Some gears starting to shift and knock that dust and that rust off. So hopefully we will be getting some news on Rocklahoma 2021 in the next couple of months. Now, we are in October, and normally around the end of October, early November, that's whenever we start seeing a little piece of news trickle out. And those of us thirsty in the desert, we gobble all up and try to figure out what's going to happen, and the guessing game begins. So remember, you will hear about it almost first you're going to hear it from their Facebook and their Twitter and all that stuff. But come on over to Surviving Rocklahoma, and we'll keep you informed on what's going on for Rocklahoma 2021. I do know that I have a suspicion. It's unconfirmed, but I have a suspicion that we're going to see a little bit of a change this year for the better, and we just got to wait and see. Also, 6 a.m., speaking of Rocklahoma veterans, they're working on new music. Now, they've been off the road since 2017, but they released a new version of Maybe It's Time. Now, they also released music video to Talk to Me in 2019, which was focused on the healing power of conversation. And so they remastered Maybe It's Time, and it sounds very different. A new version of Maybe It's Time is an initiative to draw attention to the opioid crisis, Nikki says. Nikki and James have been having many conversations about life and coming back to writing in the amidst the pandemic and all of this other stuff, as most other bands do. So we could be getting a new 6 a.m. record within the next year or two. Fingers crossed. And I'd like to see them come back too, 6 a.m. They got some great music. Nikki and DJ, they do some really cool things. Also, let's see what's going in the comments before. It's usually around Thanksgiving. Yeah, usually around Thanksgiving time. Everybody's fingers crossed. Also, the Scorpions are working on a new album. If you want to throw it back old school, they're expected for a 2021 release. Their last album was 2017's Born to Touch Your Feelings, which was a ballads anthology. It's being produced by Greg Fiddleman, who's worked with both Slipknot and Metallica. Now, they had to do this collaboration with Greg via Zoom meetings. So, man, bless technology. So we're gonna be getting some new Scorpions in the 2021. The band said this album will be 100% written by the band with no outside writers at all. So this is going to be pure Scorpions. They're not going to have any ghostwriters, not going to have a record label or producer or anybody coming in and say, here's some lyrics, you play this. This is all from the band. So I really like those kind of albums. I always have a whole lot more respect for artists and bands that write their own tunes. I understand, once you get signed and you get on these labels and stuff, you're kind of pressured to put out what they tell you to do. But Mr. Fiddlesticks, to the set. I'm ready for the AC/DC Power Up. I do too. And actually, AC/DC put out or their music was featured in a new Dodge commercial. So you need to look that up on YouTube whenever this show's over. Check out the Dodge AC/DC commercial, and they got some music on there. That almost made the news tonight, but it unfortunately got foreshadowed by something a little bit more sad, and that is that Trivium's original bassist Brent Young has died at the age of 37. Confirmed by frontman Matt Heafy, no cause of death has been listed. They haven't been public about it, but Brent recorded the Blue demo for Trivium. He also did ETI, Remember to Inferno, and he was on their first European tour. And Matt was saying that Brent was a crucial part of the early years. So, it's always sad whenever the music industry loses somebody that was pivotal in some of these some of these bands from the very get-go. And so, as we do every time we lose a rock legend or a mainstay of the rock industry, we're going to toss up our alcoholic beverages or whatever it is you're drinking. Ladies and gentlemen, smoke them if you got them. But Brent Young, rock in peace, brother. All righty. Yeah, 37. He was way too young. And I'm not sure what it is. I know everybody's going to already assume that it was Corona or COVID, but, with everybody dying of, cancer and all these other things going on, plus not to mention just, you know, the rock and roll life's a hard life. It's a lot of late nights, drinking, partying, all of that other stuff. Scott, let me tell you, if AC/DC headlines Rocklahoma 2021, I will cry on the air. As soon as I find it, I'm going to be bawling like that old video of that girl screaming to everybody leave Britney Spears alone. That's going to be me. They're going to play. That's going to be me. But I tell you what, in the meantime, let's play a little bit of this band that we saw last night. They've got an amazing cover from Paramore's cover, Misery Business. This is In Fall. That was an amazing cover by Infall. And yes, you guys know my favorite word is amazing. But I mean, you know, I'm a man of a lot of words, but few things fit like that word for Infall. I tell you guys, they're going to skyrocket. The sky is the limit for them. And Sparrow is, I mean, she's named after a bird, so she is going to soar. And I can't wait to see what comes out from them in the future. Super amazingly humble group, and she's just so fun to talk to. Huge shout out to Sparrow. Thank you so much for giving me permission to play your music here on Surviving Rocklahoma. Remember to follow the show, hit the subscribe button right here below, or be sure you click that follow button on Facebook Live. So anywhere you're listening to Surviving Rocklahoma, whether it be here, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else, be sure you hit that subscribe button, which, in the meantime, we've got some shows coming up. This week's calendar brought to you by DEB Concerts and AYSRentals.com. That's a lot of voice in such a small package, and I mean that in the greatest way possible. And absolutely right. There was multiple of the other acts that played that night that was just smitten with Little Sparrow and those amazing pipes that she has. So we've got some shows coming up, and first up, we've got BC in the Big Rig is going to be part of the IDL this weekend. There's shows Saturday at 8 p.m., shows at 9. Doors open at 8, shows at 9, 18 and over to get in. This is a show to support local musicians. 100% of the door goes to the artists. This is produced by DEB Concerts, and this is a socially conscious environment. So tables, chairs, it's an intimate evening, even though there's some great tunes. I know you want to get up and mosh. I know you want to get up and do all of that, but, this is kind of what we have to do. So they've also got the Rheem Halo air filtration systems that cleanse 99.9% of all airborne contaminants in the air. So head on over to the Ideal Ballroom this weekend to see BC in the Big Rig. And I tell you what, we're going to feature some of their music just as soon as we finish up this calendar. So you can, let me tell you guys, they are a red dirt rock and roll band, and I love me some Southern rock. And the BC has played multiple times at Rocklahoma on the side stage. I believe it was Access back at that time. I've got to change my settings on here. My name and picture, LOL. Yeah. So those of you who aren't used to watching things on Facebook, on YouTube, you can change your name and profile pictures and all of that if you so choose. I did have to make my homegirl moderator there. So you guys watch your language, watch your mouth, because she's not afraid to cut a bee. So, Christy, enjoy the band hammer. Fortunately, it's all about the love in this local community. And thank you guys so much for allowing me to be part of it. Also on the 10th, across town is going to be the Blackbird and Sounds of the Night. Tyler Grease is going to be playing, as well as Apples of Eden, Sabretooth, and Wolf Ugly. I think that's what my wife used to call me back in the party days. Man, he's ugly, but he's like a wolf. Wow. Maybe not. Anyway. So Echo Punk Productions is putting this show on. Doors at 8, shows at 9. That's at the Blackbird on Pearl, 1336 East 6th Street. It's going to be a great show. Once again, that's Tyler Grease, Apples of Eden, Sabretooth, and Wolf Ugly. Also, coming up here in a couple of weeks, I don't know why that didn't make the calendar, dadgummit. Well, before we've got that, the IDL on the 23rd, John Karabi, formerly of Motley Crue and guitarist for Rat, is going to be playing at the IDL with special guest Rocket Science. So Jana and Scott Squires of the Tulsa Music Stream. You like how I got that out? It's just a tongue twister. The Tulsa Music Stream, a great podcast, and also part of the DEB Concerts family. Their band Rocket Science is going to be playing with John Karabi October 10th at the Ideal Ballroom. Doors at 8, shows at 9, $15 at the door, 18 and over to get in. That's at 230 East 1st Street in Tulsa. So definitely check them out. John's going to be playing an intimate acoustic set, but Rocket Science is going to be there with their full electric. So it's going to be a little bit of both. However you like your music, they'll be there. I don't know why I'm going to have to figure that out before the next show. Sorry about that for popping up there on my my feed. Let's see what's going back to the comments. I'm just a coyote ugly, so you're one up on me. I guess it just means everyone better watch their P's and Q's or Christy will throw a wrench at them. True story. I love playing Tulsa. Musical One says, I was tired last night after playing the Shrine. It was such a great night. It was great. You were awesome out there. Hey, good evening, Adam. Yeah, I got to update my stuff. Well, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for giving us permission to play your music. Also, coming up on the 30th, Halloween's coming up. And on the 30th, a heavy Halloween is going to be at the Shrine. It's going to be a Halloween party for sure. The description says costume contest, lots of giveaways, best mask contest, raffles. There might even be some creepy food involved, not to mention all the metal that you can handle. Lots of details still coming together, but I can assure you it's going to be a hell of a show. Doors open at 7. Show starts at $8, $10 at the door. This is a Murdoch production show. So that means Perseus, Mudflux, Scream at the Sky, and Driver will all be playing at the Shrine October 30th for their heavy Halloween show. And they also gave away some tickets at the Sochi benefit a couple of weeks ago. And several of those bands played, Perseus and Mudflux more specifically. And they gave away some tickets. So it pays to keep going to these local shows because you never know what you might win. So give Murdoch Productions on Facebook a like. Give the venue Shrine a like. And also be sure you like Perseus, Mudflux, Scream at the Sky, and Driver. I've shared the event on the Surviving Rocklahoma Facebook page, or you can go to survivingrocklahoma.com, click on the calendars tab, and I keep that updated with as many of the local rock shows as I can. So that's going to be a great resource for you to see what all's coming up. And you even have an option on that calendar to subscribe to the calendar. So your Google Calendar will always have local events coming up. Also coming on that very next night is the Spider Ball. That's going to be at the Ideal Ballroom. Join Ideal Ballroom Enzo Bar and the Unicorn Club for the 12th annual Spider Ball Halloween party. They said, we have spent 11 years creating Tulsa's best Halloween party under one roof and 3 venues to give you one of a kind experience to over 1,000 guests each year. Join us this Saturday, October 31st, as we celebrate our 12th year of ghoulish fun, custom drinks, and one hell of a party. This is a costume only party, no exceptions. So if you show up in t-shirt and jeans, unless you've got a clever answer to when they ask you what you're supposed to be, you're not going to be admitted. So you must have a costume if you go to the Ideal Ballroom on October 31st. On Halloween, they've got $1,000 cash first prize. All contestants will be able to download the entry form off their website and fill out the day of the party. Judges will be in the Ideal Ballroom. Judging ends at midnight. So you're not going to know who it is. So you're going to have to show up in your contest, and girl, you better work because they will be judging you. Now there's 3 clubs under one roof. Once again, that's the Enzo Bar, the Unicorn Club, and the Ideal Ballroom. 3 different styles of DJs, $1,000 cash costume contest, themed custom cocktails, large props and decor, confetti cannons, balloon drops, and tickets are only $15. So take the kids trick-or-treating, find you a good babysitter, hopefully not anyone with the last name of Myers, and go on out. Or if you don't have kiddos, all the better. Get out there and get wild. But take an Uber. Please be safe and drink responsibly. This is a 21 and over event, and that sounds awesome. That would be some fun to go to. And that kind of does that for the the concert calendar. Oh, great. Christy is already on a power trip. Google says the wrench means she's a moderator. Yeah. It means she's got the ratch. She's going to beat you upside the head if anybody gets out of line. I got to have somebody out here to protect me against the trolls. And Christy, she is the wind beneath my wings. Something like that. Anyway, guys, I think it's time for some more music. What do you say? Now we've gone a little bit popish, we got a little bit heavy, and it's been a while since we had some good old country soul on the show. So without any further ado, this is BC in the Big Rig.
Always good to be here at the Mercury Lounge, home away from homes. Thank you guys for letting us do this. We appreciate it. It's a little song that we wrote about this exact bar that we're playing in right now, the Mercury Lounge, and about the people that hang out here and the people that work here. You know, it's called Get On With the Show. So light it up, let it roll, let it roll. So burn it down, oh, let's get on with the show. There's a tattooed girl slinging drinks. She's known for not taking any lip. So don't be the one causing any trouble unless you want to get your head split. It's a good time, dude, in the corner's got what you need. He'll meet you out back in 20 minutes with your bag full of weed. So light it up, let it roll, let it roll. So burn it down, oh, let's get on with the show. So light it up, let it roll, let it roll. So burn it down, oh, let's get on with the show. Come on now. It's pin-up girls in black leather jackets, stray cat wannabes. It's Marlboro Reds and Jameson whiskey, a neon blue marquee. It's socials and jacks and greasers and punks all bellied up to the bar. It's a Sunday service packed out by friends, covered in tattoos and scars. It's hillbilly bands fueled by fire, grooving and getting it hot. It's blood, sweat, and tears left on the stage from giving it all they got. It's a 3-week circus of people in music and everything else in sight. 'Cause in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you can find what you're looking for every goddamn night. So light it up, let it roll, let it roll. So burn it down, oh, let's get on with the show. So light it up, let it roll, let it roll. So burn it down, oh, let's get on with the show. Come on, boy. Pretty much.
I think I should have played them at the beginning of the show. You know, kick that on my intro. Just get on with the show, right? But that was BC and the Big Rig with Get On With the Show. Great local band. They've played Rocklahoma side stages several times, the last one being at the Access. They also played here in Tahlequah at the Medicine Stone a couple of years ago. A great group of guys. I love that Southern rock. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it's not something we hear a lot, which is really weird. You know what I'm saying? Because Tulsa being in technically the South, you would think we'd be mostly a Southern rock, but you know, we've got a lot of them, but I don't hear a whole lot. But I really like BC, and they're a great, humble, and very approachable group of guys. And they've been doing it for a while. So thank you, BC and the Big Rig, for letting me. Christy is surviving Rocklahoma hall monitor. I need to get her a sash. That's what we need to do. We'll get Christy a sash and hall monitor, and then we'll have the Surviving Rocklahoma logo behind it. We'll make it all sparkly and decorate it with sugar skulls. I know my friends are what. But guys, thank you so much. Oh, that's what I knew I was forgetting something. Here we go. Let me fix my graphics there. Boom. All right. So once again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I love doing this, and thanks for following me in the transition from Facebook to YouTube. We will still be part of Facebook. I'm still going to be sharing articles as I write blogs on the website, survivingrocklahoma.com. I'll be sharing those onto our Facebook, our Twitter as well. I'm also going to be having more pictures from local shows. Those are going to go to the Instagram, which will also be cross-posted to Facebook. So it's all linked together. But I appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, and following anywhere you go. And this is very much your show. I do this for you guys, and you guys keep watching, so I'm going to keep making them. And thanks for giving me an excuse to broadcast. Bands, if you'd like to be featured here and be part of that 20,000 people reach that we get every month, send them on over. survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. Shoot me a link, the files. If you're going to be playing a gig locally, throw that in there as well so we can get you added to the concert calendar. Maybe even get you an interview here before your upcoming gig. We love to talk to you guys, but that all starts with you. So submit your music. Also, once again, submit those gigs so we can get those added to the concert calendar, because we're thirsty. We are so thirsty for live music. And these smaller venues, it's what's keeping us sane. And don't forget about Spotify. Not only can you listen to Surviving Rocklahoma on Spotify, but I've also got a playlist that features all of these bands that I play each and every week. And it's called Surviving Rocklahoma, Locally Grown. If you ask Google or Alexa, she can find it for you. But it's a Spotify playlist, Surviving Rocklahoma, Locally Grown, and check it. Be sure you like and follow the Surviving Rocklahoma podcast. And also, guys, it doesn't matter how you're consuming this content, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or wherever else we're out this week, especially survivingrocklahoma.com. Hit that like and subscribe button. And if you would, guys, feel free to share this show, this live broadcast. Sharing is caring, and I appreciate all of your support. And also, if you would like to sponsor the show or donate, you can email survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. There's also a donation link in the description if you're feeling so charitable. No pressure, but every dollar that's spent on this show is reinvested in the show. New equipment so I can bring you live concerts, bring you live more footage. That slideshow was brought with a camera that's been generated from my generous sponsors. Speaking of which, a huge shout out to debconcerts.com for keeping the pulse beating in Oklahoma, certainly in northeastern Oklahoma. They've got gigs, and he's still booking regularly. So you need to head on over to debconcerts.com and see what he's got cooking. Also, be sure you follow him on all of social media so that you get those announcements. And at your service rentals, Rocklahoma's official source of portable restrooms, but they also rent these facilities out, portable facilities out outside of Rocklahoma. So if you've need porta potties, portable shower stations, or sanitation stations, aysrentals.com, they've got you hooked up. But that does it for me. It's just about 10 o'clock, and I still got a little bit of beer to pound. So and until next week, as we do every week, we will be right here at Surviving Rocklahoma on YouTube, Sunday at 9 p.m. And until next time, as always, rock on.